friends. Today I want to talk about jazz language, right? And jazz licks, and how can you learn from a lick, how can you find a lick, and how can you use it. And I want to show you a way that's more organic and intuitive, right? And how I go about it. So the lick that I played at the beginning of the video is a line from a John Scofield solo on I Don't Want to Be Lonely. The solo form is really like simple. It has 16 bars, 2 bars of F and 2 bars of G-7. And John Scofield really doesn't get tired playing over those chords, always coming up with new ideas, not repeating himself. Can only highly recommend this solo. And basically that's already the first step how I would go about learning and putting more jazz language into my playing. When I listen to music and something really like excites me on a deep level, I try to write it down immediately. Either I write it down in my music journal or write it down on my iPhone, whatever I have it at hand. I write down the album and the title, and most important, I write down the minute, because otherwise I will have to search so long for that lick again, and then I might be confused which one it has been that I liked so much. So I just write down the minute and the tune and where I found it. So when I can come back to it later on and I practice, I have like a collection of things that I know that excited me and I can pick from them. So when I sit down to practice, then I can choose one of those lines, and what I do, I put them on my iPad. So I need a little preparation time. I buy the tune on iTunes still, if you can believe it, and then I put it on my iPad and I put it in the program that many of you, I guess, already know. It's AnyTune Pro, because then I can listen to it and I also can make like loops and repeat stuff and just like really have the time to hear the line, because I find it really annoying to try to transcribe stuff off of Spotify with this little thing and then finding the minute, and again that sort of drives me crazy. So I would rather put it on my iPad, and then I basically have the song and then I can just know the minute where the lick is. So it was around 2 minutes and something, and now I know this is the line. I can loop it. And I'm just going to listen to it. And then I just try to find the notes, and if I can't do that, I can slow it down maybe to 50, or let's say 40. And maybe take only the first 4 notes. And just, I could also only take 1 note, right? So you can really do it as you like, and then maybe you add a note. And then you just, or I just, the first thing that I do is just like really, I first of all find the note, right? I don't print out any solo transcription and stuff. I really start with my ear and the iPad, and it's you can train your ears, right, to hear stuff. Don't be ashamed to break it down to 1 note and just hear the 1 note. If you can't hear it, what I used to do is just like, we only have 12 notes, and then by trial error I would just like, move along until I find that note. And then I have it most of the time. But sometimes still, if a lick is very fast, I can't hear it. And then I stop for the day and I come back, and you will be astounded, because the brain is working away overnight at it. All of a sudden you're going to hear a little bit more. So take your time, come back, listen to it over and over again till you have it down, and then just for the start figure out one way how you can play it on the fretboard, right? And that's enough. So don't drive yourself crazy playing it everywhere in every key. For a start, I like to play it here. So, and then I just play it. And so this is my second step, right? I'm playing it on the guitar. And I'm making sure I know it by heart. And then I play it like this for a long time. working on the mechanical side of things, just knowing how to play it. The details come later. So, and then maybe after a while I think this is 2 and 4 and continue with the lick, but now it's double the speed. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I practice it faster and faster, even maybe faster than the original recording. I just want to make sure that, you know, the technical aspect of things is really, I can do that, so I don't have to think about it anymore. That can take up to some days, right? That it becomes automatic. And it's a good thing if you can play it faster than you need. That goes with all the stuff that you practice, because when you come back to the original tempo and it's slow, it's going to be so much easier, and it sort of frees up room in your head to think about other stuff that you absolutely need to think about, but also hear, right? So it frees up mental space. Let's play it a little faster. Right, just like this. And then I think that's the most overlooked step, and maybe the most important step. I go back to the recording, and now I start, after I checked everything with my fingers, I start to hone in on the details. And then I listen to it again. I listen again. And then I'm listening for the details. Yeah, and I hear he's playing an accent on the F and on the E flat. And then I try to play that accent. It makes such a big difference. So I'm really trying to mimic him as closely as I get. I'm not afraid that I'm going to sound like John Scofield. I just really want to get into this feeling. I can learn so much from it, right? And I'm going to play together with him with a goal of really like playing exactly the way that, in the way that he plays, right? So he's starting on the 2. So he's starting a place I would never start. That's already cool. So maybe slow it down a little bit, just like to even get closer to his playing. Accent. You know, and if you practice one thing to the maximum of your ability, maybe exceeding it, right, really to mastery, it will reflect on all the other stuff that you play, right? Because you're changing how you expect that you're going to sound when you pick up your guitar. We all have an expectation, or we're used to the way we sound. If we want to get better, we need to have another expectation how we want to sound. And for that, we need to put the sound into a system. We can do that by listening to music, but also by playing along. I find, especially if you start playing along with the masters, that can be kind of revealing, but also if you can get a little closer, it will make you so much better. And then number 4, I would really try to understand the line, because if I understand it, I can use it in different ways. So know your music theory, right? So in this case, I think he's thinking about a C7, and most of the line just like reflects the C7. We have an enclosure, right? And if I categorize it for myself as an enclosure, I know this is my goal my target note. And then I already know if I'm playing another tune, I can, you know, just use it in a myriad of ways. So this is what I think, enclosure of the 3, flat 9, going to the 1, and then the flat 7 of the C7, going to the 3 of the major 7 chord, of the 1 chord, which is classic bebop line. And so I already learned a lot. He's playing the flat 9 on the dominant 7th chord and resolving it to the root, resolving the flat 7 to the major 3rd. And then it becomes a mix of knowledge and intuitive hearing. If you practice bebop lines, you learn where notes want to go to, or where they could possibly go to, and that in the end there are no wrong notes. We have 12 notes, and it depends how we hear them. If we hear them in a context of a chromatic approach note or an enclosure, we can still, you know, just like find our way around the note and embed it in a way that it makes sense, if that makes any sense. And last but not least, I would try to, you know, find a way how I can use this line. I can just like use it in the same place on a chord progression, or you know, just like I did, I record myself an F major chord. And then just play the line over 1 chord. Or maybe I think, okay, that's great, I can play it over 1 chord, maybe I can use it in a more modal situation, so I'm recording an F7 modal. I always think more like an F7, don't know why. So now I end the line on the E flat, because I recorded, and F7, I'm thinking now that's my tonic. Works as well, right? So now I'm recording a minor chord, and now I'm changing the 3 and the 7. I don't know. So it's really tension and release. Yes, and like this I can go on for hours. I hope this is helpful, and I see you next week. Bye!